Whoa, that's a long way to go for a punchline. Ladies and gentlemen, now comes the part of the show, which I'm sure many of you have been eagerly anticipating. The end. Why is that funny?
It's funny because it's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to attempt a stunt so difficult that I am one of but a small handful of people in the world who are willing to even attempt this stunt. This stunt is so dangerous that if I do it poorly, I will no doubt end up dying horribly and painfully on this stage while you watch. Would you like to see that? You guys are freaks. Well, since you guys seem so eager to want to watch me risk my life to satisfy your petty bloodlust, I see no reason why I shouldn't risk one of yours as well. So this is the part of the show that I call Let's Meet the Audience. And the audience calls Don't Make Eye Contact. Now, young man, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but let me let you in on a life lesson. We live in an unfair world, populated by dark and cruel beings that will devour your soul and crush your very will to live. They're called lawyers. So although I see you are the future of humanity, I look at you and I see a liability. So let's find an adult type person. Now there's one person in the audience who seems to be enjoying the show extremely much, and I thought perhaps you would like to join me on stage. Would you be so kind as to do so, my lady? Please watch your step, don't trip, I don't have insurance. Right up here, if you'd be so kind as to stand right there on the trap door. Perfect. And your name is? Lisa? A pleasure, I am Molotov. Now, gentlemen, pay attention. This is how a gentleman greets a lady. Notice I'm not grabbing or gripping at her hand. Her hand is resting on my fingertips. I bring her hand up, and I ever so gently caress her knuckles with my lips. That is how a gentleman greets a lady. I am not a gentleman. Now, Misa, have you ever in your life wanted to be a heroic swashbuckling pirate? Okay, yes. You're at the Ren Fair. I mean, let's face it. No, I don't go for that fantasy childish stuff. Let's go to the Ren Fair. Now, Misa, this is your opportunity to look like a hero. But this part of the show is so important that first you need to audition for it. So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and take this, Misa. All right? In a moment, I'm going to step back and I'm going to yell the word action. Misa, you will draw the sword and you will strike your most heroic pirate pose. The audience is going to rate you based on applause, everything from not bad, kind of awkward, all the way up to, holy cow, she's like the female Johnny Depp. Now, Misa, it's important that when you draw that sword that you keep a solid grip on it, because if you let it slip, one of them is going to die.
No pressure.
Now, folks, keep in mind that Misa's fragile self-esteem is in your hands, so be generous with that applause. Misa, take 2 steps back really quick. All right, 2 steps back that way. All right. All right. So when you draw the sword, strike the pose. All right. And action. Woo! Calls and everything. Don't put it away yet. Now I noticed there was a little shaking in the sword. I don't know if that was from nerves or maybe you're channeling some latent rage against some gentleman, but that makes me a little concerned, and I'll explain in a moment. But in the meantime, give me this. Misa, do me a favor, if you'd be so kind as to give the blade just a little bit of flex. Check to feel if it's real metal. It's real. Okay. Now check to see if the blade will slide into the handle or roll up or fold up in any way, shape, or form. No. In your expert pirate opinion, would you say that's a real sword?
It's a real sword.
All right. Now, Misa, the reason it's important that that's a real sword, and the reason why you're shaking made me a little nervous, was because I brought you up here to stab me in the face. You know, your reluctance sets me at ease. Now, I don't want to cause any mental anguish, so I'll tell you what, I'll help you with the face stabbing, all right? All right, that's why it'll be on me. Do me a favor, trade with me here. All right, here's what's going to happen. In a moment, on Misa's behalf, I will take this stainless steel blade and stab myself in the face, specifically my mouth. I will then tilt my head back and allow the entire 14-inch blade to descend down into my throat. I will then make this gesture, which is the universal signal for applause. You will applaud wildly, hooting and hollering, throwing children through the air. Do not throw the children. But I would like to invite everyone over the age of 30 to copiously wet themselves. That's a joke. Everybody's invited to copiously wet themselves. Now, once the applause dies down, I am going to bow to the audience. So you guys will be able to see the sword going straight down my throat. You'll be able to see that I'm not doing one of these things. And then, Misa, here's where your important part comes in. I will bow to you. You will reach out and you will place your fingertips only on the handle of the sword. It will then look to all the world as if you just stabbed me in the face. They can get pictures. You can put it on Facebook. You'll look like a hero. Now, Misa, here's a few safety tips, all right? Number one, please resist the urge to do this. Number two, do not attempt to draw the sword out of my throat, all right? Number three, and very importantly, do not attempt to push the sword through to the other side. Failure to comply with any of these rules will result in this becoming a magic show, as a bloody corpse appears at your feet, and they will all transform into 300 witnesses for court proceedings. Got it?
I got it.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to see is not an optical illusion. This is not a magic trick. What you're about to see is legitimate. I am one of less than 100 active sword swallowers in the entire world. To learn how to do this, it took me over 4 years of intense conditioning of my body, which is exactly why I have zero social life. So if I survive this stunt, I hope that you will be suitably impressed enough to put a few dollars into my hat. Now, Misa, these could very well be my final moments on this planet. You may be the last person I have any meaningful interaction with. Fantastic. So, if that is to be the case, it would do me great honor if one of my final acts was to receive a special gift from a lovely stranger.
Out here, there you go.
Just so you know, the tongue was hers. She was like... No, Misa, I didn't mean it! Please don't stab me in the face! Does this appear to be the blade you examined a moment ago? Do you see the fresh coating of phlegm and stomach acid upon the wound. I'm a court moe. Lisa, are you okay? Thank you ever so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, did you have a good time?